Hi, I'm Cheyne Horan, world champion surfer, and have been on the beach for over 50 years.
Cheyne Horan isn't just a surfer. He's an icon, a maverick, and a man whose life is truly out of this world. From his groundbreaking surfboard designs to his spiritual journey, Cheyne has always lived on his own terms. Let's explore the incredible story of a surfing legend who refused to conform. This story will inspire, intrigue, and astonish you. Cheyne Horan's journey began on August 8, 1960, in Sydney, Australia. Growing up near Bondi Beach, one of the world's most iconic surfing destinations, it seemed as if the ocean was destined to shape his life. His father, a former national speed skating champion, introduced him to the water when Cheyne was just 10 years old. What began as a hobby quickly turned into an obsession. By age 13, Cheyne had already won the Juniors Division state title, proving that his connection to the ocean was extraordinary. But surfing wasn't Cheyne's only talent. Around the same time, he was one of Australia's top skateboarders, mastering balance and flow in ways that few his age could. Skateboarding and surfing weren't just sports for him. They were extensions of his creativity, early indicators of a mind that would never be content with the ordinary. Cheyne's early success came with a hunger for more. In 1976, he turned professional at just 16 years old. His debut in the Sydney Surfabout, where he finished in the top 10, was just the beginning of a career that would redefine surfing forever.
Smooth. His 5'8" would have been laughed at in past years. It's the same board he rode at 4-foot Rocky Point.
Cheyne wasn't like other surfers. In the 1970s, surfing was dominated by power moves and a rigid style that rewarded aggression over finesse. But Cheyne? He brought a sense of artistry to the waves. His style was fluid, expressive, almost like a dance. Observers noted that watching him surf felt like watching a painter create a masterpiece on a moving canvas. By the late 1970s, Cheyne had become a household name in surfing. He was the youngest member of the legendary Bronzed Aussies, a group of surfers who weren't just athletes but cultural icons. Together, they promoted surfing as a professional sport and a lifestyle. Cheyne's talent on the board was undeniable, but his real superpower was his refusal to conform. While others were chasing trophies and glory, Cheyne was chasing innovation. He wanted to push the boundaries of what was possible, not just in surfing, but in life itself. Over the next decade, Cheyne became one of the most celebrated surfers in the world. He competed in the World Surf League, finishing as the runner-up 4 times, in 1978, 1979, 1981, and 1982. It's a feat that many athletes would dream of, but for Cheyne, it came with a bittersweet edge. In 1979, he came agonizingly close to winning the world title, losing to Mark Richards by just 1 heat. To some, this might have been a crushing blow, but for Cheyne, it wasn't about the titles. It was about the journey. Still, his consistent performance solidified his reputation as one of the greatest surfers of his time, even without a world championship to his name. If Cheyne Horan's style was revolutionary, his approach to equipment was downright rebellious. In the early 1980s, while the surfing world was transitioning to multi-fin boards, Cheyne stuck to his single-fin design. Why? Because he believed it offered a level of freedom and creativity that multi-fin boards couldn't replicate. But he didn't stop there. In 1985, Cheyne teamed up with Ben Lexon, the man who designed the yacht Australia 2 that won the America's Cup, to create the winged keel fin. This fin, inspired by high-tech yacht design, was meant to improve stability and speed. The surfing world was divided. Some called him a visionary, others dismissed the design as impractical. But Cheyne didn't care. For him, it wasn't about pleasing the critics. It was about exploring the limits of possibility. And while the winged keel didn't catch on widely, it remains a true reflection of Cheyne's spirit of innovation.
Also competing in the 1984 Bells contest was Sydney surfer Cheyne Horan. His board was more radical. Inspired by Australia's incredible success in winning the America's Cup, he turned to the designer of Australia 2 for guidance.
Yeah, Ben Lexton designed it for me. He used to be a surfer himself. He said I should try one of these in my board, and I tried it, and it works really well. A lot of drive, and I can continually hold the power on the fin.
Cheyne Horan's influence wasn't confined to the waves. He also made his mark on the big screen, appearing in several iconic surf films that captured his artistry and philosophy. Films like Blazing Boards, 1984, Screamin' Blue, 1987, The Endless Summer 2, 1994, Billabong Odyssey, 2003, and Bra Boys, 2007, showcased his innovative style and unique approach to surfing. Through these films, Cheyne wasn't just a participant, he was a storyteller. His appearances immortalized his vision of surfing as more than a sport. It was an art form, a lifestyle, and a connection to the natural world. Whether riding waves or sharing his philosophies, Cheyne used these platforms to inspire audiences far beyond the surfing community. His role in these films solidified his place as both a cultural icon and an ambassador for the sport.
I'm looking for Cheyne Horan. You know, he was inducted into the Surfing Walk of Fame today, and this was the 360 that rocked the world when he won the OP Pro, which is the current exhibit in the museum. And I hear he's in there. Let's go find him.
By the mid-1980s, Cheyne's life took an even more unconventional turn. He became deeply immersed in spirituality, adopting practices like yoga, meditation, and vegetarianism. For him, these weren't just lifestyle choices. They were philosophies that guided his approach to surfing and life. Cheyne openly discussed his use of psychedelics during this period, claiming they expanded his creativity and helped him connect with the natural world. While his openness drew criticism, it also inspired many to see surfing as more than just a sport. To Cheyne, it was a spiritual journey, a way to harmonize with the ocean and the universe. By the late 1990s, many of Cheyne's peers had retired, but he was far from done. In 2000, at the age of 40, Cheyne proved that age was just a number. He competed in the Quicksilver World Masters Championship in France and won, defeating younger competitors with ease. It was a triumphant moment that showcased not just his skill, but also his resilience. Cheyne had weathered decades of change, controversy, and competition, yet he remained at the top of his game. Cheyne Horan's personal life has been as fascinating as his professional journey. In May 2000, shortly after winning the Quicksilver World Masters Championship, Cheyne married his longtime partner, Paulina. The couple has shared a quiet, private life, often away from the limelight. Despite being a public figure, Cheyne has always kept the details of his family life relatively low profile. While not much is known about his children or immediate family, those who know him describe him as a devoted husband and a deeply spiritual individual who values his relationships above all else. Cheyne's life hasn't been without challenges and controversies. His staunch commitment to riding single-fin boards during the rise of multi-fin designs in the 1980s was met with widespread criticism. Many in the surfing community believed his refusal to adapt cost him world titles. But for Cheyne, the principle of staying true to himself outweighed the allure of trophies. In addition to his equipment choices, his openness about experimenting with psychedelics and alternative lifestyles sparked debates. During an era when such topics were taboo, Cheyne's candidness earned him both admirers and detractors. More recently, in 2020, Cheyne found himself in the headlines due to a legal dispute over a $2 million Sydney estate. The case, involving his late aunt's will, highlighted the complexities of family relationships and the challenges that even legends can face off the waves. Despite the legal battle, Cheyne handled the situation with characteristic grace, refusing to let it define his legacy.
It's part of a social media campaign that's designed to show off Queensland to the world.
After decades of competitive surfing, Cheyne turned his attention to mentoring the next generation. He founded the Cheyne Horan School of Surf, a venture that allows him to share his expertise and philosophy with aspiring surfers.
A great style. The way that Barbie surfs is just a natural-born surfer.
Cheyne's approach to teaching isn't just about technique, it's about mindset. He emphasizes the importance of individuality, creativity, and a deep connection to the ocean. For Cheyne, surfing is as much about self-expression as it is about riding waves. His students often describe him as an inspiring and patient mentor who encourages them to find their own unique style. Cheyne's creativity extends beyond the waves. He's also an accomplished artist, using painting as another outlet for his boundless imagination. His artwork often features themes of nature, spirituality, and the ocean, reflections of the elements that have shaped his life. In addition to his artistic endeavors, Cheyne has been a passionate advocate for environmental causes. He's spoken out about the need to protect the world's oceans and has participated in initiatives promoting sustainable surfing practices. Cheyne believes that surfers have a responsibility to give back to the environment that gives them so much. Cheyne Horan's legacy isn't just about his competitive achievements, it's about his relentless drive to innovate. From his groundbreaking winged keel fin to his unorthodox surfing style, Cheyne has consistently pushed the boundaries of what's possible in surfing. His influence can be seen in the generations of surfers who followed him, many of whom credit Cheyne with inspiring them to think outside the box. Today, he's celebrated not just as a surfer, but as a pioneer who reshaped the sport and culture of surfing.
Manly's smoking. It's such a fun beach break. I've actually surfed an Australian title here, which was amazing. I got some pins here. Well, I'll show you my new design. Right, my newest design is this one. It's called the Wind Keel, and it's got wings, and it's the Spitfire wing. Can you see that up there? Look, that's my newest fins up the top there. I sell fins out of the back of my car.
Even in his 60s, Cheyne Horan continues to live a life that's anything but ordinary. Whether he's coaching young surfers, creating art, or riding waves, Cheyne approaches everything with the same passion and curiosity that defined his career. His journey is a reminder that greatness isn't measured by titles or accolades, it's measured by the impact you leave behind. And Cheyne Horan's impact on the world of surfing is immeasurable. Cheyne Horan's life is a story of resilience, creativity, and unwavering individuality. From the beaches of Bondi to the highest levels of competitive surfing, he's lived a life that defies convention and inspires everyone who hears it. His journey isn't just about surfing, it's about embracing your passions, staying true to yourself, and never being afraid to challenge the status quo. Cheyne Horan didn't just ride waves, he created ripples that continue to shape the surfing world today. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the extraordinary life of Cheyne Horan. If you found his story as inspiring as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let us know in the comments what part of his journey resonated with you the most. Until next time, keep riding the waves of life.
Take the glasses off to have a look. I'll just lift the stand up. I'm not as big as PT. Hey, first I just want to thank all the team for the induction today for the Surfing Walk of Fame. I want to thank John Etheridge. He's turned me onto a car this week, and I've had one of the best times I've ever had in California. It's right up there. Yeah, it was fantastic. Also, I want to thank Gary and Wendy Linden. I stayed with them last week down in Oceanside and had the best time down there and shaped a few boards down there. Gary set me up, just made it super easy, and I had a ball making the boards. I just felt right in the zone. Thanks, guys. Also, I've got a real close friend of mine here, Richie, and his son River. They've come over. I met Richie over in New York. He's from New Jersey, but he picked me up at the airport on one of my first tours around the world, and we've been mates ever since. Like, he came over to Australia, we travelled around Australia. So, Richie, love seeing you here. Thanks for making the effort, mate. Also, I've got Noel here. Noel's been a big supporter of mine for a long time. We're always in contact. We're always talking board design and can't get enough of it.
There's a lot of other people I'm sure I should be thanking up here, but definitely got to thank my lovely wife. She's made this trip just fantastic, Paulina. We've got two beautiful kids, Cheyne and Atlanta. We actually named our kid Cheyne. She was watching a race one day and she thought, wow, what a great name for a race, that race driver. She kept hearing it right through the race, around the chicane. She thought it was a race driver, so that's how we named our first kid. Surfing started for me. Firstly, I'd just like to say about Jesse. Jesse just opened so many doors for me today, mate. The doors were half closed, but they just flung right open, man. Just like the love of surfing and, you know, or just opening the inspiration of life and stuff. And we do take a lot of stuff for granted. And we should live each moment. And like coming over here this time, I sort of feel like it almost could be my last time in America. I'm surprised I'm even here now. And it's one of those. I've been seeing a lot of friends over here. I don't know if I'll ever see you guys again. So if anyone that's been a mate or just a supporter, I'm open to say hi and give anyone a hug today. That's our day.